One of the things that I found heartening, let's say, about the Trump presidency was that there were 4 years without a major war, and your administration or that administration also advanced the Abraham Accords, which was a major move in the direction of peace in the Middle East.
Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain will establish embassies, exchange ambassadors, and begin to cooperate and work together so strongly to cooperate as partners across the broad range of sectors, from tourism to trade and healthcare to security. They're going to work together. They are friends.
A weak man in a position of power will fall prey to the temptation to look strong and to therefore put forward more force than is absolutely necessary in an attempt to buttress his image. People lie because they want to manipulate the short-term consequences. They think they can get away with it. They think they'll gain something from it. Okay, so I think, no, you tell the truth, and sometimes you're going to pay a price for that, but it's nowhere near as much of a price as you're bloody well going to pay if you lie. Now, you might be too stupid and willfully blind and naive and crooked and devious and deceptive to understand that, but doesn't mean you're right. Almost everything I see on the ideological side appears to me to be an attempt to proclaim moral virtue and the accompanying status, and perhaps even the pathway to redemption, without doing any of the work at all. And I think the universities are terribly complicit in this, because what they basically tell students is the secular equivalent, I think, of what you're complaining about on the Christian side, which is, well, you don't really have to be a good person, which, by the way, is a very difficult thing to do. And the consequence of not doing that is everyone ends up in hell. But you don't really have to be a good person. You just have to be against the right things. And conveniently, that'll require a little protesting on your part, and conveniently it will enable you to what would you say, see the devil in everyone else and not in yourself at all. And then you've paid your price and you can trumpet your moral virtue, and away you go down the road.
Think about this. You're dealing with cultural Marxism. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in truth. They don't believe in good or evil. They believe in nothing but power. But somehow they have to cannibalize truth, and they have to talk about things like racism, and they have to talk about things like that's right and that's wrong, and we care about the marginalized. And of course, what we want to ask is, excuse me, why do you care about those things? In other words, you say racism is wrong. I agree, but I know why it's wrong. Why do you say that it's wrong? If you don't get your values from the Bible, which says that we're all created equal in God's image, if you get your values from quote unquote science and blind Darwinism, then who's to say that some people aren't more evolved than others? In other words, according to what you claim to believe, you have zero basis on which to make any claims about morality, about what's right or wrong. So you're gaslighting all of us. You're telling us, shut up, don't ask questions, do this, don't do that, don't say this, don't say that. And everybody is kind of bullied into going along with it. Oh, okay. But we ought to say, excuse me, not only are you wrong about everything, you don't even have any basis on which to make any of these claims. So the idea that this was born in, Derrida, Foucault, critical race theory, critical theory, Gramsci, this kind of bubbles its way through the decades until here we are living with madness on every front. To be pro-reality is to be a radical in this day and age. To be a revolutionary and a radical is to be pro-reality.
What we point to as Marxism is just the most recent rational manifestation of the eternal spirit of Cain.
So imagine where we are today, that you have people, they've effectively created a false religion, which is particularly horrifying and wicked. It's almost like we're seeing it now with the sheer lunacy of the pride juggernaut, that everybody has to be bullied into agreeing with whatever it is. And
not agreeing, but celebrating and worshiping
Yeah.
It's way
Well,
more
if you
than
don't-
just agreeing.